Good afternoon and welcome to the next just below average track guide, and we are at Zandvoort this week, once again in an LMP3 in preparation for a weekend's league race. Before I show you the lap, I just want to say, despite having had plenty of experience on this track in F3, F1, GT3s, I really struggled. This was one of the more difficult track guides to make, mainly because it's so hard to find any kind of consistency. I genuinely have no idea how the lap you're about to see was as quick as it was. I have done about 55, 60 laps, and maybe 2 or 3 are within a tenth or two of the lap you're about to see. Everything else was between half a second and 2.5 seconds slower. So I have no idea. I'm going to have to work on that, because obviously if I have a race at the weekend, it's no good only having one good lap out of 50. So plenty of practice coming up. But before that, here's the lap.
Fastest lap of the session. About 5 laps of fuel left. Just set your fastest lap of the session.
Okay, we are on the final turn that leads onto the start-finish straight. Let the car drift over to the left. Now this was my fastest lap, but there were a couple of obvious errors that cost probably about 0.2 of a second. The first one is coming up. So we're flat out, 5th gear, 100 metre board, hard on the brakes. Down to 1st gear, there you go, missed my braking point, so lost at least a tenth or two there. Back on the throttle, up through the gears, you're going to hit 4th gear just before this turning right, down to 3rd, back on the throttle, hard on the brakes, down to 2nd, hit the curb on the inside, let it roll out wide, use the camber and the downforce to get grip, then back on the power. You're going to be full throttle all the way through this section as it winds up the hill. Just over the crest here, look out for an escape road on your left hand side. That is the point where you shift down to 4th, dab of the brakes, get it in nice and tight, ride the curb on the inside, let it drift to the curb on the outside. And that curb. Then you're going to clip this curb on the right, but mind that sausage, let it drift out to the left, up to 4th gear momentarily, then down to 2nd. Get nice and tight on this right hand curb, back on the power as early as you possibly can, and here comes error number 2. You're going to get down to 2nd gear, and as you can see, you probably want to be about a car's width further to the left. There was plenty of grip there, so it didn't seem to cost me too much. Anyway, full throttle all the way up this little climb, and then just as you drop over, you're going to see a red and white curb just at the start of that. Brake hard, down to 2nd. Throw it into the right, down to 1st, throw it back round to the left, back on the throttle as early as you can, up through the gears. You're going to see a green mark on the road. At the end of that, drop it down to 3rd, dab of the brakes, throw it in, ride the curb, let it drift out to the left again, then you're back on the throttle all the way around this final turn one more time, back onto the start-finish straight, and you will see the finish line right about now. There you go. That is a 1:31.202 with easily potential for a sub 1:31 without actually changing an awful lot, but just remembering to brake when you're supposed to and remembering to turn when you're supposed to. So there you go. As I mentioned before the lap, it was obvious to see where I went wrong, but not so obvious to see what I did right on that lap. So I have no idea where that time came from. But there you go, a 1:31.202. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found it interesting and educational. If you'd like to watch the live race coming up this weekend or any other of our live events, please check out my Twitch channel up above. In the meantime, do all that stuff. Like, subscribe, comment, share the bell. And that's it. Thanks. Bye.